Happy New Year. As we turn the calendar to 2023, we want to thank you, our loyal WagerTalk Sports Memo and Gold Chief family. Thank you not only for your business, but for your feedback, suggestions, and criticisms, as it has helped us grow to become the #1 sports betting information company and leader of the sports betting videos and content, with WagerTalk TV now having over 110,000 subscribers. To welcome in 2023 and to thank all of you for your support, we want to give you 23% more on any All Sports All Access pass of 30 days and longer. Buy a 30-day All Sports All Access pass and get 7 days free, a $99 value. Buy a 90-day and get 22 free days. Buy a full year and get 84 free days, which basically takes you through March Madness of 2024. No coupon is needed, and the added free days will automatically appear. Just head to your favorite handicappers page and you will find these specials loaded. This special offer is only available until midnight on January 9th, the night of the College Football National Championship. For myself and everyone at the WagerTalk Media family, Happy New Year.
Hey guys, welcome in. Happy Friday to you now here. January the 6th, coming up to our first weekend of the new year, and plenty of NBA action tonight. Great card on tap. We're going to break down a few of these games, see if we can't come up with a couple of best bets along the way. And we're going to do it with three of the finest handicappers at WagerTalk.com as we welcome back in the prop god, Mr. Andy Lang, here to go today. Somehow or another, must have lost a bet because I have another show with Brian Powers. So Brian Powers is here. Rob Vino is here. Thank God somebody's here to keep this whole show in line. Always a pleasure to see you there, Vino. Gentlemen, loaded card this weekend. We just came off the college basketball show. Going to be a big weekend. College hoops, NFL, NBA, NHL. There's a little something for everybody this weekend. Golf, actually, Andy, you got a little something for everybody, I believe, working right now at WagerTalk.com.
Yeah, so happy to have golf back. I subbed on the NHL show and I completely forgot to have a best bet, so I just threw out the first thing that came out of my mouth, which was a golf bet. That threw everybody for a loop on the NHL show today. But 5% NFL best bet is up at WagerTalk.com. They just keep hitting. 17-7 this year. I think we're at 40 units on 5% plays in the NFL season. Week 18 is an amazing week for prop betting. It's contract bonuses and incentives. Did a whole segment on Wager Talk today, so you can kind of see a little bit about what we're talking about with those. So really excited. All of the props and incentive bonuses are going to be part of the 5% package. So for this weekend, that's what I recommend the most, is grabbing that NFL play. You'll get 5% play as well as all the props.
All right, let's go. Something for everybody here. And Vino, how about you, man? I know you got to be locked and loaded here. NFL. We talked earlier in the week. You had some plays already ready to go here. You got anything tonight on the card for us?
I do, as a matter of fact, Joe. A pair of NBA best bets up and available right now, WagerTalk.com. And I will have the FCS championship game on Sunday. 4% best bet on that as well. North Dakota State, South Dakota State, for those who don't follow FCS football. These two, bitter rivalry, very good football. You see these two beating FBS teams constantly, but we've got to play. We've got an angle on this one. So you can catch it all at WagerTalk.com.
Like I'm missing something. I don't know what is. Oh, Brian Powers here. That's right. Brian Power. Always a pleasure to see you, man. Almost completely blew by that. What's going on? We just saw you on a college basketball show. I've seen you on the soccer show. I saw you stoppage time this week. You're like a bad rash, dude. We can't get rid of you. Talk to us. What do you got locked and loaded here tonight at WagerTalk.com? Oh, sounds great. Doesn't he? He really does. This is going to be great. Hi. Let me see if I can come up with a voice for him. Here we go. All right, ready? All right, hold on.
Hi, Hi, this is Brian Power. Got a ton of plays this week. No? Oh, shit. Oh, no, this isn't. Oh, no. Hold on. Turn yourself off mute, you putz. How's that? You got me? Can you hear me? Now, get up.
And we move on. All right, let's go. We'll get Nope. Still not going to clap it out for you. Not going to do it over here. But you can just refresh that, Brian. You'll be good to go. You'll go. I promise you, you'll be back. In the meantime, we'll introduce you to Brian Power and his evil twin there. And we will go with a contrarian play of the day here. And the contrarian gods, well, they're gonna get kinky tonight, Rob Vino. We know how you like that. You cash them kinky tickets here. Talk to me about the Clippers, who did they have a game last night? I don't think they played last night. No, as a matter of fact, I know they didn't play last night. They got their asses handed to them. 4.5, Vino, is what we're looking at here. It's always hard to trust this team on the second of a back-to-back, but since most of those guys only played 3 minutes, what do you think about the Clippers tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Let me just get one thing clear before I get too giddy here with this play. The contrarian gods are on the Clippers tonight plus the points. Is that what we're saying here tonight?
That's where we're going.
Wow.
That's it.
Well, I'm giddy to be on the side of the contrarian gods, which has to be the first time in 4 years that I've ever been happy to be with these guys. But I like the Clippers. Plus the points here. Now, you mentioned a lot of it, Joe. Last night's game, it almost seemed like the Clippers showed up to that arena last night already in Minnesota with their minds set on this game. I don't know. The way the NBA works nowadays, and our good friend and colleague that we do shows with a lot, Jay Money, calls them scheduled losses. And it just seems like LA scheduled a loss last night against Denver. They played everybody, made it look good, but they kind of covered it up by, like you said, Kawhi only plays 18 minutes. Paul, let's go get blown out and everybody can sit and rest up for the Minnesota game, the team that we hate because they celebrated after knocking us out of the playoffs. So I think that LA is more motivated here for this game. Now, they don't come in here in great form whatsoever, right? They got 4 straight losses and maybe 3 of those against the spread. So they're not in great form. But in the NBA, boy, motivation is everything on a nightly basis. And I think the motivation's here to take on this particular team. If, in fact, you talked a little, Joe, about how we can never trust them on back-to-backs, and it's because we never know how they're going to manipulate the injury report on back-to-back. But I think everybody goes here. Even if Kawhi decides to sit, I don't really mind. I think Clippers plus the points come out focused. They're the far better defensive team for sure. Minnesota back to their old antics of really not shooting well other than Anthony Edwards at this point in time. So I'm going to take the points. I'll be with the contrarian side here. Clippers plus 4.
No, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, Andy Lang. Usually Vino's like double fisting and going at the contrarian gods here, but him being on that same side is worrisome. But how about you? You seem to be a little level-headed with the gods this week. Tell me, are you on the same side as them?
Yeah, always. You know me, the contrarian. Very, very rarely do I ever go against the contrarian gods. So I'll go with them. It's such a strange game last night. Yeah, I mean, scheduled loss, whatever. I just don't think losing games like that are really good for a team, especially a team that has the inconsistent lineups that the Clippers do. And I don't know. Give me a break, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. We're gearing up for the Timberwolves. They limited us from the playoff. Like, oh, please. You guys are supposed to be title contenders. Meanwhile, they're fiddle-farting around with the Timberwolves, who don't even have Karl Anthony Towns. Weren't they mad at Pat Beverly? We're really mad at Beverly last year, who's not even on the team anymore. Like, I just can't. I don't know. I can't take this Clippers team seriously. But Rob mentioned it. Player prop, Anthony Edwards, going back to him, over 25.5 points. He's been the big consistent scorer. He's at 27 or more in 7 straight games. And the perimeter has not been very good defensively for the Clippers. I mean, we saw last night, Bones Highland, Jamal Murray just torched them. Tyler Hero had 23 points the game before that. And then the game before that against the Pacers, Buddy Hield, Tyrese Halliburton had big games. Jaylen Brown got him for 29. And I know it's a small sample size, but the last 4 games, the Clippers are the 3rd worst defensive team in the league. I know it's only 4 games. That's just not good when you've got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard on your team. That's worse than the Pistons. Worse defensive efficiency than the Pistons the last 4 games. So I don't see how they just turn the switch and ramp it up on defense. Maybe they do and they surprise me. I'll take the contrarian gods, but I'm going to be on Edwards over his points as my favorite bet in this game.
Well, not hating that look at all. Kind of feel like if we get word, maybe one or the other, or maybe both. If they're both going, I feel like this line's going to go in one direction, Brian Powers. So if I like the Clippers, I should probably bet them sooner rather than later. But are you in agreement with the contrarian gods here tonight?
Well, after that rousing start to the show, I better be with the contrarian gods, I think. Otherwise, I'm in a lot of trouble, right? God knows what's going to happen if I'll lose the ability to speak permanently, I guess. Again, I am with the permanent gods. Don't you joke about that, Joe. The Clippers got hammered last night, as we have all drilled into the ground. It was their worst loss of the season in terms of margin. My goodness, they were down 38 in the first half. But, yeah, Ty Lue pulls all the starters. And I know this is a little misleading, but I was looking at this box score from last night in absolute awe. The starting 5 for the Clippers, 26 points on 9 of 31 shooting. As a team, they missed 32 of 37 three-pointers. If they tried, they can't do that bad again tonight. And if Leonard and George do suit up, obviously getting the second half off last night probably works in their favor. Minnesota's not good as a favorite, gang. 7-13 when laying points. I bet the T-Wolves Wednesday against the Blazers, but they were a short home dog in that game, and that was the case when they beat Denver on Monday as well. Before that, they dropped 6 in a row, so Minnesota not exactly in fine form over the last couple of weeks either. Clippers could be motivated to end this 4-game losing streak. Should be, certainly. It matches the season high for them. I am not going to doubt the contrarian gods. Minnesota's offensive efficiency remains lousy when Towns is out of the lineup, so it is dog or pass for me, and I'm just glad that my microphone works.
Yeah, that's a good thing you fixed that up, because you don't want to see what was coming next. But the contrarian gods, 4.5 with the Clippers. They like them to bounce back here a little tonight. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, obviously wait to see what the status of those guys are, guys. But the contrarian gods, Clippers, is their play here tonight. All right, let's check out a featured matchup here tonight. One that is, I guess, I want to say this one is probably going to be better than the featured one yesterday we put up, which we kind of thought everyone was going to be all excited with the Celtics game last night. And good God almighty, Dallas. But tonight we're home for a little better game with the Brooklyn Nets traveling to New Orleans to take on the Zion-less Pelicans there. +4 is what New Orleans as a home dog is getting. 231 now is that total. So why don't you start us off there, Rob, Vino, and tell me, how do you approach this? Total, side, who are you looking at here?
Well, I know off air before we started, the 2 words "too easy" came up about this game. It would appear that way. Obviously, New Orleans is so shorthanded at this point in time. And if not for the heroic efforts of C.J. McCollum in the game where he sank 11 threes, I think, against the Sixers, I mean, the offense would be headed south very, very quickly here. Brooklyn's been so efficient on the offensive end, you have to wonder how New Orleans is going to keep up here. I generally don't like to play against home teams on Friday nights. I've said that numerous times over the years on this show, but I don't like to do it. I did take a look at Brooklyn's team total in this particular game of 117.5, thinking that they could get to 118 and what could be a more high-scoring affair. The Pelicans' pace has been up the last 5 games, whereas the Brooklyn Nets really don't play with any pace, but they play with such a high efficiency and they get to the free throw line so much between Kyrie and Kevin Durant that it makes up for their, sort of milking the shot clock a little bit. So I think that's the way I would look here, Joe. I don't expect New Orleans to score that much here, which would lead me to believe Brooklyn as the favorite is the right side, but I almost prefer to play their points They've been so good offensively as of late. I think over 117.5 against a team that likes to push. I think that's probably the way to go here.
All right. So what do you think, Andy? Did you isolate anybody on Brooklyn, maybe prop-wise, or New Orleans? How are you looking at this game?
I have a couple leans, but I don't have anything too strong for this one. I can't recommend following any of my plays on this particular game. I was looking at CJ McCollum because it's kind of all they have left as point totals, 25.5. It's a little bit high for me against Brooklyn, who's been playing some pretty good defense. I was also looking at the Pelicans under their team total of 113.5. If they don't get a big game from McCollum, they're really going to struggle to score. But I also think that there's going to be some rebounding issues without Zion in a lot of these games. And I know Zion's not a great rebounder, but he is at least a big body. Ben Simmons' rebounding total is 5.5. He's had 9 and he's had 6 the last couple games. I think Brooklyn is going to have the advantage on the boards outside of Valanciunas. So if you're looking to play something, maybe Simmons over his rebounds, maybe the Pelicans under their team total. Nothing too solid, but those are some leans in this game.
All right, couple of leans there for some prop bets. Brian Power, what do you think, man? You leaning one way or the other? Yeah, it seems so obvious. Brooklyn, right?
Well, we've had one case made to go over Brooklyn's team total, another case to go under the Pelicans' team total. So that doesn't sound too good for the home dog, but I'm going to try to make a case here. It's not on my card, but I think this is a letdown spot for Brooklyn. Had a 12-game win streak snapped Wednesday in Chicago. I generally, when a team has a streak snapped, I look to fade the next game after that. You don't want to get in front of the train while the streak's still going, but afterwards, they become fade material, at least for me. And as a road favorite this year, the Nets only win by an average of 1.1 points per game. So they're not winning by a lot of margin in this situation. Without Zion and Brandon Ingram, the Pelicans have actually been profitable this year. Obviously, that's probably because the odds makers overreact. They give you some points to work with. And I think that's what we've got here. Because when you look at this number relative to where Brooklyn closed against a terrible Charlotte team, I think we would all agree Charlotte stinks, right? Well, the Nets closed minus 6.5 in that game. I think the Pelicans, even without Zion and Ingram, are more than 2 points better than Charlotte. They're 17-4 at home. And while you do worry about their ability to score here, they had 6 players in double figures against Houston. I know that, again, it's Houston, but I think they could stay within this number and possibly win the game outright. I would lean to the New Orleans Pelicans here.
All right, leaning towards the Pelicans in that one here tonight. Should be a good one. And, of course, we do have a game in which we will focus on a total here tonight. And to everyone's shock, it's not going to be the Lakers or the Hawks, because we fade them every chance we get. But we are going to look at the Indiana Pacers taking on the Portland Trailblazers. And this one seems to get quite a few bets early on here. 231.5 is an open. I'm seeing 237. And it'll probably continue to rise here. So makes sense given what we've seen from these two teams. Andy, your Pacers there, you're still kind of shocked that they're winning games. Why? You have no idea. But talk to us about a total here tonight and a prop or two that you might be looking at.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy watching the Pacers. They are so fun to watch. They're fun to bet on because I think we have some pretty clear trends, and I expect this game to be a complete shootout. I mentioned earlier about the Clippers not being they're the third worst defensive team efficiency. Well, the worst team is the Pacers, so expect a lot of points in this one. And for that, I'm going to go with the same game parlay in this one. You can find this one on FanDuel or DraftKings. Buddy Hield has just been shooting the ball great. He's playing really, really good basketball. He seems to get over his point total even when he doesn't shoot the ball well. So I'm going to take him in the same game parlay over 15.5 points. His original total tonight's 18.5. So lower that to 15.5. And then I'll go with Tyrese Halliburton to have 8 or more assists. He's had 12, 8, 10, and 9 the last 4 games. He's doing a great job distributing the ball. Guys are hitting some of their open shots. So I really wanted to play Hield and Halliburton tonight, but I thought let's make it a same game parlay. You're getting around minus 110 on that one. Look for a ton of points in this one and for Hield and Halliburton to lead the way.
So I'm seeing, I believe Nurkic is probable. Grant and Peyton are still questionable. I think Grant probably means more, Rob Vino, to the total for Portland than what Gary Payton II would do. So what do you think here? If there's no Grant, is it an under or is it just over or not for you?
Well, I'll simplify it because, like Andy said, Indiana is a team that's developing some really good team trends, aside from individual ones. But I like first half team total over with Indiana. I can't believe that number didn't reach 60. You're looking at 59 and a half in this game. I think 59 and a half is the number. But last 5 games, Indiana first halves, they've scored 64, 64, 62, 66, 61. And now they get a team in Portland that really isn't known for their defense whatsoever. And the Pacers, because they're almost centerless. You know, Miles Turner plays center for this team, but he's kind of a combination, stretch 4, center. And then they have no centers behind him. Rick Carlisle doesn't play any of them.
Nope.
Daniel Tice has been hurt for a while. 88 Batadze, or however you pronounce his last name, never sees the light of day. Isaiah Jackson was on a G League assignment. He might go tonight. But they play very small and very fast. They were here in Philadelphia the other day, and they were down big heading into the fourth. I think they're down like 16 or something. They made a huge run in the fourth and forced it to overtime. I would say their full game total as well, Joe. They produced over 120 in 5 straight, but I think it's easier just to play first half. They come out running from the get-go. Portland probably falls into that trap. Chauncey Billups has had some complaints about his team defensively as of late, and giving effort as of late. So I'm going to try it, Joe. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's been a motto of this show for a long, long time. I think over 59 and a half first half of the Pacers is a good way to look.
All right. Love it. Love that. What do you think here, Brian Power? 2 teams have not had an issue scoring. Are they going to have any issues here tonight getting into 240s?
Well, just first off, going back to something you mentioned earlier about the Pacers being such a surprise. I mean, it's crazy. This was expected to be one of the worst teams in the NBA, but it's early January, right? And they're 7th in the East, and I think they only need 3 or 4 more wins to exceed their preseason win total.
Wow.
I mean, that's crazy stuff. They rally back from a double-digit deficit to force overtime in Philly the other night. They didn't get the win, but they covered 5th straight ATS win. But as I found out last week, this overtime segment is indeed where you need to focus on the over-under. Can't do anything else there.
There you go.
Yeah, by the way, that was a winner that I gave on that player prop, and I told you if Andy Lang was here, you wouldn't have chastised him. And sure,
nobody cares. Stick to it. There you go. Okay,
right.
Stick to the total. Good stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, wouldn't you know, Joe? In those same last 5 games, the Pacers are 5-0 to the over. Last one, as I mentioned, goes to OT, but the previous 4 all saw 236 or more points scored in regulation. 2 of them, 261 in regulation. You can't bet the under on this game. The number now, I mean, you feel good if you bet the over earlier in the day. The number now, I don't know if it's a little rich for my blood or not, but lucky for Portland, Pacers are bottom, as Andy mentioned, at the bottom of the league in defensive efficiency. So over is the only way to go here if you're betting the total.
It's over or not for Brian Power. He eventually got there, although he wanted to bring up some terrible memories of the past, but that's all right. Good to go. Winners are winners, even if it's in the first 5 minutes of scoring place. Let's head over to the dog section if we could, Brian. This is where we pick an underdog. Robert, go ahead. Let's see what we got.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
All right, let's check these dogs out here tonight. Quite a few of them here that we don't often see. Portland there is now dogging this game. The Knicks in Toronto. The Bulls, it looks like. Charlotte, Detroit. The Wiz. We got Cleveland as a dog here tonight, as well as Phoenix and the Lakers. So a little something here across the board on some teams that we don't often see on this list. So, Brian Power, start us off here, man. Tell me, is there a dog here that you think will be barking tonight?
Yeah, let's go with Chicago, who is 0-8 straight up and against the spread the last 8 meetings with Philly. That's not good, but there's no Embiid tonight for the Sixers. Bulls, I mentioned earlier, they just took out Brooklyn, ended their 12-game win streak. We've seen some action on the Bulls today. Numbers down to 4.5. I think it was even as low as 4 at some shops. And here's another thing with the Bulls. They're only 3-2 straight up their last 5 games, but both losses were to a very good Cleveland team. One of those was at the buzzer, and the other one was that insane overtime game where Donovan Mitchell goes nuts for 71 points. So this is a team that could be coming in on a 5-game win streak. I think DeMar DeRozan has a big game here. I am on the Bulls +4 and would not be shocked at an outright upset.
Ooh, all right. I like that. Yeah, no Embiid means a much quicker tempo for Philadelphia. Vino, talk to me here, man. Which one of these dogs is barking for you tonight?
Well, you're going to hate this, Joe.
Oh, no. Yeah, here comes Washington. I know it. Yeah.
Because I'm actually going to double down with my position with the contrarian gods. I hope that these contrarian gods come to the next Wager Talk meet and greet so I can meet all of them and talk about the day when I doubled down with them and shook hands and broke bread. The +4.5 here. I mean, Ty Lue comes out last night and says we didn't have a defensive mindset to start the game. We had no answer for Nikola Jokic. All these things are fixable overnight. If you have a defensive mindset and you have the Clippers defensive personnel, you can certainly play good defense against these Minnesota Timberwolves. And there is Rudy Gobert is in no way, shape, or form Nikola Jokic. So I think those two things get solved here. They probably shoot the ball better. Obviously, we talked about the lack of minutes played by the starters. They should be fresh. So +4.5 just seems huge to me in a game where I don't normally trust Minnesota as a favorite against anybody. So I'm certainly not going to trust them here. I'll take the Clippers +4.5.
All right. Doubling down on the Clippers here. All right, Andy, is there a dog here and maybe a prop associated with that dog?
Well, shout out to Professor Chris in our chat room. He asked if anybody was going to go with the Knickerbockers, and that is my dog. Yeah, going to go with the New York Knicks. I'm not laying any points with the Raptors at this point. They have a win over Phoenix, but, they just lost to Milwaukee, just lost to the Pacers. Now, you can't blame them. Two of the top teams in the East there, the Bucks and the Pacers. But then before that, losses to the Clippers, losses to Memphis. They played a few games ago on December 21st, and the Raptors won that game, but that was behind 52 points from Pascal Siakam. Don't see that happening again. Not 3 impressive wins for the Knicks in a row, but they did dominate Houston. Sorry, Robert. They did dominate Phoenix. They get the win against San Antonio. They've got a day's rest. I just can't be laying points with a Raptors team that is just this Raptors team is teetering on trading some players and saying this just isn't our season. We got to do some kind of reset. They're only 16-22 this year. The Knicks, 21-18. I just feel like I get the better team with points. No other special situations and a little bit of a revenge spot for Knicks. So give me the Knicks plus the points.
All right, let's go with the Knicks and the points. By the way, I'm starting to see 4s popping up. Knicks getting 4, and I'm also seeing the Brooklyn Nets dropping to 3.5. So you guys, look at that. You guys say it, and just like that, the markets move. Amazing stuff. Now, let's check out what their best bets are going to be here tonight. All right, you guys know how it works. 60 seconds on the clock. Do whatever the hell you want with that 60 seconds. Just go ahead, make sure you drop us a best bets. Plenty of opportunities and games on the board here tonight. So, Andy, start us off here. My man, remind the good people what you got going on and what's your best bet.
Well, first of all, Rob brought up that the Pacers don't play any centers. And the reason that we don't play any centers is that the Pacers coaching staff has seen our centers. That's why they're not playing. I believe Rob is referring to Goga Batadze. If you Google him, it doesn't even say Indiana Pacer. It says Georgian basketball player. So that's what we got. 5% NFL best bet is up at WagerTalk. Go get that. It's going to include all of the contract bonuses and incentives and team and personal record props that we have for this weekend. It's a great, great NFL week to bet props. My best bet, I'm just going to take James Harden over 24.5 points with no Embiid. They're going to be relying on him a little bit more. He had 26 last game, and he gets a great matchup against a Bulls team that's perimeter is not very good. Like Brian mentioned, they're coming up, giving up 71 points. Donovan Mitchell, without Embiid, production's got to come from somewhere. Give me Harden over his points.
All right. Getting Harden going up and over there in what should be an entertaining game for sure with the Bulls there. Talk to us here, Vino. 60 seconds on the clock. You got a little college football action going on up there, I believe, and tell us about it and give us the best bet.
Yeah, absolutely. FCS title game played on Sunday. I know we're all looking forward to the Monday night national championship game, which I will also have a play up on this weekend. But currently, you can pick up the 4% best bet on the FCS title game played on Sunday on a neutral field in Frisco, Texas. Go get it at WagerTalk.com. Joe, I'm going to go way down the board tonight for the best bet. And usually I don't talk about games that we don't talk about here on the show, but I'm going to take Atlanta minus the 2.5 against the Lakers. The Lakers are so shorthanded with wings here, and never mind that they're wings, but they're guys who actually play defense on the Lakers. The three guys you can least afford to lose are Lonnie Walker, who's been out, Austin Reeves, who's the only guy who gives effort on the defensive side on the entire team, and then Troy Brown Jr. All three of those likely out for this evening. It's not a good opponent to have to be minus at the wing position against. I think Atlanta's looking up a little bit here off of their last game. So give me the Hawks minus 2.5 over the Lakers here tonight as the best bet.
All right. Love it. Love it. All right, Brian Power, I know you got a full slate of NFL games locked, loaded, ready to roll at WagerTalk.com. Tell us about it and drop us the best bet here.
Yeah, first off, sad to see the Bulls go. That we just got one game left. The Bulls treated us very well, won both 5% plays. Speaking of 5% plays, last Sunday in the NFL, had the Saints beat the Eagles outright. And right now, you can get my full NFL card for Saturday and Sunday. That is 5 plays total, just $29. You've got a little bit under 24 hours to take advantage of that deal. And have a college hoops best bet as well that we went over on that show. Best bet for the NBA tonight, Kristaps Porzingis over 24.5 points. He already averages 22.2 points per game, guys, and there's no Bradley Beal tonight against Oklahoma City, who's bad defensively, no height. Porzingis scored 27 with Beal in the lineup the first time these teams played. Should be noted, Thunder play at the third fastest pace in the league, so there's going to be plenty of possessions in this game as well. Porzingis over 24.5 points for Washington against Oklahoma City.
Whoa, a little kinky with his Porzingis play there, Vino. I like it. All right, talk to us here, guys. The recap going on here with Andy Lang. Woof, woof. That New York dog just gained a 0.5 point, going to 4 now is what we're seeing. But Harden, that's where he's going, man. 24.5 points here tonight against the Bulls, up and over, while Brian Power says, yeah, he'll take those Bulls. 4.5s, in fact, are popping up here. And Porzingis, for one, and expect him to have some points here tonight. 24.5 go up and over. Vino, he's doubling down with the contrarian gods on the Clippers, getting it done here tonight against Minnesota. His best bet. Screw you, LeBron. Give him the Atlanta Hawks to get back on track here. It is a small number. I'm seeing 2s in the marketplace now for Atlanta. You'll able hop on board with that. And, of course, you're going to hop on board with all 3 guys here tonight. WagerTalk.com is the way to go. They just told you about the best bets. They were already locked and loaded. But, hey, those 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, 90-day, full-year all-access packages. Quite the investment here, guys. No better way to partner up with these guys than with a full-year subscription, which will come with a whole added bonus of just about an entire quarter into next year. In fact, I believe a full-year subscription gets you right through March Madness of next year. So opportunity here, guys. Invest in yourself. Partner up with these guys over at WagerTalk.com, and let's kick 2023's ass here across the board. That'll do it on this Friday here as we get ready for this first big weekend here in January 2023. Plenty of action going on. We'll be back, of course, again on Monday. Another loaded NBA slate of action all week. Certainly hope you'll come back and join us there. Hit the like button, subscribe button. Make sure you download the brand new WagerTalk TV app. Smartphone, tablets, smart TVs, all our content, all our games, all our breakdowns, live on demand, guys, with the brand new WagerTalk TV app. And I want to say on behalf of Andy, Rob Vino, Brian Power, we want to send a big shout out and a big happy birthday to the guy behind the scenes here, making it all happen. Robert, happy birthday, my man. Congratulations. Outstanding. If you need bail money, Brian Power said call him this weekend. He's available. He's good to go there. But seriously, guys, happy birthday, Robert. Best of luck with all your plays this weekend, guys. We'll talk to you again on Monday. Good luck.
Happy New Year. As we turn the calendar to 2023, we want to thank you, our loyal WagerTalk Sports Memo and Gold Chief family. Thank you not only for your business, but for your feedback, suggestions, and criticisms, as it has helped us grow to become the #1 sports betting information company and leader of the sports betting videos and content, with WagerTalk TV now having over 110,000 subscribers. To welcome in 2023 and to thank all of you for your support, we want to give you 23% more on any All Sports All Access pass of 30 days and longer. Buy a 30-day All Sports All Access pass and get 7 days free, a $99 value. Buy a 90-day and get 22 free days. Buy a full year and get 84 free days, which basically takes you through March Madness of 2024. No coupon is needed, and the added free days will automatically appear. Just head to your favorite handicappers page and you will find these specials loaded. This special offer is only available until midnight on January 9th, the night of the College Football National Championship. For myself and everyone at the WagerTalk Media family, Happy New Year.